Welcome to today's video, and today we are going to be putting new rotors on my 2005 Impala. This is not my 2005 Impala. This is an Impala that I'm going to use as a test dummy for that Buick LeSaber, not this one but the one in front of it, because it has drilled and slotted rotors, and I believe they should fit on this because they are the same year, and everybody knows GM uses almost all their parts on the same vehicles, whether it be from Buick to Chevy. So that's what we're doing, but we're going to be using this one as a test so that I do not buy $20 rotors from PullAPart and end up having to return them when I could have just checked and made sure it was okay anyway. So currently we are going to be taking this rotor off and then taking that rotor off, and then if those do work, we're going to be taking both the front rotors off, and then we're going to be going over there across the junkyard to get the rear rotors off because I have to do full rotors. So enjoy this lovely montage of me getting off these rotors. And just like that, our rotors are out. Take a look at these brake pads. Absolutely wonderful. Not bad, to be honest. They're still shiny. Alright, we're just gonna leave those right here along with the bolts. Well, actually, we're gonna be nice. We're going to stick the bolts back in there. That way, if somebody else wants them, they can have them, which is always good to do, because I would be mad if I found the perfect part but the bolts weren't with it. So anytime you get a part from PullAPart or wherever it may be, please put the bolt at least back in the part that you got it from. And if those rotors don't work, we're going to be using these, because these ones are actually quite nice. Look at that. Thick, go chunky boys. So we're going to be leaving this one here, and we're going to be going and getting the other one. Okay, now here it is, right? Buick LeSaber agriculture car, right? But with drilled and slotted rotors. Now, unfortunately, it's only on the front. If they were on the back, I would have got those too. But, you know, the front is really all you need. So that's what we're gonna get. Man, to think that I recorded this video almost a year ago and I'm just now getting around to editing it because my phone's running out of storage. Basically what I'm doing here is I needed something to stick in the tire because it kept moving, and at a junkyard, obviously you can't put the car down because they're all in rims. So I went and found a piece of rubber or something, and then I couldn't get the wheels off because I had no breaker bar, just that single wrench, and I found a big old piece of PVC pipe to stick on there, one hell of a breaker bar. And yeah, I'd say the job was pretty quick. This is sped up about ×7. Altogether, I would say it was a pretty decent job. Later on in the video, I think I'll probably mention it, but it was harder to get the calibers and whatnot off of my own driving car than it was to get the ones that have been sitting at the junkyard for a while. Okay, now we're back. Here's what our normal rotor looks like. Here's what our slotted rotor looks like. They look about the same size. Both GM 5-spoke, per usual. So let's go ahead and take our lugs off here. And see if our lovely rotor will fit on there like normal. Ignore the shakiness, you know. It's a little hard to put on a 5-pound rotor and hold a camera at the same time. A little over 5 pounds. Make sure not to squish your fingers like a dumbass. And as you can see, looks like it fits on there pretty solid. But just because it fits on there doesn't mean it does. Make sure that your caliber will also fit on there. Okay? decent. Take your bolts out that you put back in there because you're a great person, right? Now, stick these bad boys on there. Put the bolts in there. Now, you don't exactly have to screw everything in. Just a little bit would be fine. Just enough to where you know that it'll be okay. Now, I got everything together here. Now, a little bit of oversight, now that I'm watching this, is yes, you very much can look this up on Google and see if they fit. But for me, I did look it up and I did ask people and they said yes, they will fit. All of them did. But at the end of the day, it was more about the experience and just, getting to try things out and just double checking. I mean, most of the time, I assume the internet won't lie, and multiple people that I've asked that are mostly mechanics wouldn't lie, but it's really all about getting that experience. So, I mean, if you're curious about something and you really want to see it for yourself, I'd recommend just doing it yourself. And this was just a great experience for me, even if it was kind of pointless in the long run when I could have just looked it up and took them instead of doing all this, which probably lasted me an extra hour at the junkyard, to be honest with you. But I don't mind. I had a lot of fun doing this, and for my first experience of getting my own parts off at PullAPart, I would say it was quite a fun one. What wasn't fun was carrying 2 front rotors and 2 rear rotors, because they are heavier than hell. Also, while having to carry a tool bag full of fucking tools. Not fun. I have it on here, okay? And like the other one, it has a bit of back and forth play. And it fits the exact same around the thing, okay? Go and look at it from the side. Look at this one from the side. They look pretty much the same. Make sure this one fits the exact same, just double check it. And they do indeed fit the exact same. And because of that, we're gonna be taking these bad boys home. Now, how am I gonna carry 4 rotors around? I don't know. I guess we're just gonna have to be strong. And now that I think about it, I feel stupid because I have to carry around 4 fucking rotors. Do you know how heavy 4 rotors are? Just one rotor is like 10 pounds, maybe 15, I don't know. Solid steel right there, buckaroo. And I gotta carry around 4 of them. And these ones aren't even as big as the back ones are, because it doesn't have that. Well, they're technically bigger, but they don't have as big of a thing right here. Made a mistake. I'm gonna take my old rotor, stick it on top of the bag, and then with one hand, I'm going to carry it like this and hope my bag does not rip apart. All right. Go back to this Lesaber, and I will get back to you when I have 2 of these. So I forgot to record, but here we are. 05 Impala. These are the rear discs that I've decided. Pretty thick, very smooth. They're exactly what I need. Got the caliper off. Now I'm trying to get the thing off, but unlike the other ones, they don't come right off. So gonna search on YouTube how to get these off, and I'll be right back. Alright, so I watched a little video, I believe it was the AutoZone video, and learned that the parking brake will make your back rotor stuck. The parking brake shoes are going to be these right here on the inside, and if they are engaged, they press up against the inside of your rotor, making it to where they will not come off. And so I go inside and check to see if they're on, and well, they were. So if you're ever having trouble getting your back rotors off, make sure your parking brake's not on. All right, I'm gonna go do the same for the other side and check out. Okay, So here we are with all of our tools. Now, real quickly, I'm gonna apologize for the background noise, and hopefully this video doesn't come out like crap because of the audio. But yeah, here we are. We have our slotted rotors located in the top left, our rear rotors, our brake pads, brake fluid, brake clean, any other sockets we could possibly need, a ratchet, a big ratchet for the wheels, something that I should have brought in the pull-apart with me, as well as some WD-40 and some more tools, as well as a jack with no handle, and we're gonna figure out how to lift that up. Okay, here we are with our jack. Successfully jacked up a couple pieces of wood. Now realistically, you wouldn't want it that close because you're gonna have to turn your wood to get that caliber off, but hopefully this won't affect anything too much. So now we're gonna move on to taking the wheel off. Now for this wheel, it is going to be using Pontiac's 6 spline. You can pick the socket for this up at about any parts store, I would imagine, but I went ahead and picked mine up at AutoZone. Looks like this. It's got the little splines on the inside for about 10 bucks. Now how this works, you just slide it on there like a normal socket, and then you come over and get your preferably big wrench, as well as a normal socket. You can also use a 4-way on this, I believe, and then you're just gonna wanna slide it over there like slow. This size is gonna be a 21, and you're just gonna use it like normal. All right, now I got my caliber off as well as the rotor, and I will say, strangely, it was harder to get this caliber off. It was hard to get these bolts off of this than it was a car that's been sitting in a junkyard. That don't make no sense, but nonetheless, we got it off. We're gonna go ahead and check out our new brake pads. The big ones usually go on the front, considering that all the braking force is to the front, which, when you think about it, doesn't make any sense. I mean, it does. It does, but it doesn't. I mean, you would want bigger brakes on the front because the front is getting more load from all the weight than the back is, but at the same time, if your front locks up, it's also gonna make it to where you can't steer. All right, so in this box, we got new pads, some clippy clips, and I think that's gonna be it, yeah? Oh, 2 more pads. Is there 4 pads on this thing? I don't remember there being 4 pads on this. Okay, so we got 2 pads. That's a full set right there. As well as some read before in... What does that say? Read before installing. I will not do such things. I don't need it. Replace hardware. Brake hardware is exposed to extreme temperatures, causing it to weaken. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and set you guys up here. Y'all see all that shit? What the hell is this? Old compared to new. To be honest, these aren't too bad. Yeah, these aren't bad at all. These are honestly really good. Or at least I think so. I mean, they've still got quite a bit of tread on them. Nowhere near metal to metal. I'm gonna set these. And the same thing, these. Good. These won't get that low.
By yourself, dude. Huh?
I don't mind.
Yeah, you do. I would. I do.
That's because you're no good at these things.
Whatever. Better at brake calibers than you think, boy.
You had to do it yourself, yeah? Yeah?
Yeah.
So these pads aren't too bad.
Yes, bro. Yeah, no, but
I mean, this doesn't look legit.
well, you know what? They're cheap enough that, you know, it depending on
Also, these came in a pack of 4.
Yeah, that's a, 2%.
2%?
Yeah.
1, 2, visual. Alright, now basically what I'm doing here is just scraping all the old gunk off and using the brake clean to make it a clean surface for everything to go back together, because I don't know what the last guy did, but it looks like he had some like gasket stuff on there. I don't know if he's trying to make it more snug or what, but that's basically what I'm doing. Just taking a wire brush, getting all the old gunk off, and just making sure it's a clean surface, because you don't want all that stuff gunked up in there. Look at these. Beautiful. We have 2 clips per side. Alright, now I will admit, this is a whole 7-minute clip sped up into 45 seconds. And the reason why it took me 7 minutes for one little clip is because I didn't feel like taking the assembly apart. Now, if you look, there's 2 bolts very visible that hold the part that I'm working on. And literally all you have to do is loosen those 2 bolts, take the piece off, and put the clip in there, and it takes no longer than 2 minutes. But look at this. I'm bending it, trying to find a way to just rig it in there and squeeze it in there, when I literally just could have loosened 2 bolts, fit it in there, and been done with it. But look at me, I'm sitting there trying to pry it in there any which way. So I will say, when you're doing this, do it the right way. Take the 2 bolts off. Do not try and squeeze it in there any way it'll fit, because in the long run, it takes you, in this case, triple, almost quadruple the time it would have taken me to just put it in there right.
This would like literally be so much easier if I'd done this the right way. Real quick, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, it's this metal piece right here. It's supposed to be folded over, right? Well, what we're gonna do is we're gonna unfold it and then just kind of slide it on in there, so that we don't have to take this off of the bracket. It's gonna save us a lot of time, kind of. If I just took the bracket off, I would have been done by now. So maybe not.
Should be like so, right? Slide them on in there. Same thing for this one, I believe. In the circular motion. Slide on in there. Same thing for you, guys. I don't think that's gonna fit around my thing. I think I should have got the thing that pushes the thing back so that the thing can go inside of the thing. Alright, so basically what I meant by that is the brake piston was pushed out farther, like as if the brakes were engaged somewhat, sort of, and that with the new pads on there, being that they have more stuff to them rather than being worn down, I'm going to have to push down the piston to be able to fit it around the rotor. And instead of getting that from AutoZone, the thing that does it, it's like a little kind of clamp thingy, pushes it down, you know. I kind of decided to go about the homemade way of doing it, if you will.
Okay, I think it goes on like this, but the arrow's facing this way, right? I'm gonna be late to work. I'm supposed to be to work at 5. It's currently like 4 something. Last time I checked, it was 4. It was at this moment that he regretted his decision of not getting the thingy thing.
Alright, so the problem is I can't get it because I need these to go further apart, and I can't do that because I don't have the clamp. So we're gonna go to AutoZone and get one. So here's a quick little update. I have it compressed now, and the way I did this was I took a socket, because I didn't go to AutoZone. I took a socket, stuck it in there like so. Then I used a C-clamp and done this. And what happens is well, really I done it at the side. And what happens is you do the C-clamp and it presses against right there, which in turn presses the inside of this, and then of course it clamps on the back and it pushes it in. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Realistically, you'd want to use a bigger C-clamp and then put your brake pad right there, but I didn't have that, so this was the best option I had. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and put all this together. I mean, it's pretty simple. You just put this back onto this, and then bolt this down, put your wheel on or whatnot. So I'll see you after that's all done, or maybe somewhere in between. All right, now please bear with me as I not accidentally, but between the rest of the calibers and bolts being difficult to get off, it took me a very long time, and by the time the video was up, I had already called out to work and it was getting dark out, and yeah, so a full brake job doing rotors and pads took a lot longer than I thought it would, but in the end, it was all pretty easy. I mean, basically, what you just watched me do on the first rotor, you do with all of them. The back ones are no different, the same thing, and little spoiler thing that I thought I recorded, but I didn't, and if I did, then it was probably on my Google Photos, not my iPhone photos, which is what I'm currently looking at, but that's besides the point. I had accidentally put one of the brake pads on backwards, and thankfully I double checked everything before I went and put the wheel on, because putting a brake pad on backwards will not be good for your rotor at all. So make sure you're watching out for that. And I think that's pretty much going to be it for this video. Just a little update. We did save the bird. I'll get into that later. Another quick update. The Impala has died. My mother requested it back, and she had ended up wrecking in the quarter panel and then blew up the motor. So yeah, the car that you're watching being fixed, and with its beautiful headlights and seats and the spoiler I put on, yeah, it's now dead. But a soul for a soul, we saved the Firebird, and I think that's the main goal of this channel at the end of the day. So I will see you in the next one. Yeah, that's about it. Bye.